Good morning and welcome to a Wednesday edition of Main Street TV. We're halfway through the week, and we have a special video today that was produced by our own Adrian, and we are going to get a behind-the-scenes look and discussion about this weekend's Little Shop of Horrors put on by Apple City Players at the Markay. So this should be exciting, and then we'll be back after the video with news from Pete Wilson.
At Vinton County National Bank, we believe in supporting the areas where we live and work. Now, we'd like to honor those who also serve our communities. Our new Community Champions account is especially for first responders, veterans, active military, and anyone employed in the fields of healthcare or education. This account offers rewards, discounts, and other benefits to those who give so much to others. Vinton County National Bank, rewarding those who serve.
So introduce yourselves.
Hi, my name is Kim Seitz.
Hi, I'm Allison Morris.
And you guys are Kim is the director and Allison is the assistant director / choreographer for
Little Shop of Horrors.
All right. So tell me, what made you guys interested in directing Little Shop?
Well, I think doing a musical, bringing a musical to the stage has always been on Apple City Players' wish list. So when we were looking for musicals, we wanted to look for something that played to our strengths. And we have 18 shows under our belt now. And we're known mostly for comedies. We've done a few dramas, but we thought that Little Shop checked that box. It has some physical comedies that we're also known for in some of our shows. It includes a big cast. It's something that's well known. It's quirky, it's silly, it's funny. I think that somebody is going to come and they're going to know, I've seen that story before.
I was going to say that too. We wanted to do something that people knew. I think all of the options we considered this year were things that I think the whole community would have loved, but I'm really excited that the membership chose this one because it's quirky and fun like everybody in the show. So great.
So for those who don't know what Little Shop of Horrors is, can you tell us a little bit about what the show is?
Do you want to take that?
It is, we're in a flower shop with I don't want to give too much away if they
Right.
don't want to give too much away, but there is a strange and interesting plant that Seymour grows, and it has a surprise that if you've never seen it or never heard of it, you're probably not going to expect of how it grows and how it becomes bigger and what Seymour has to supply to this plant. It's based in Skid Row, New York, so we got some fun New York accents coming out. It's a lot of fun.
And it centers around our protagonist, Seymour. He's just a meek little botanist. He's pining for his co-worker, Audrey, and they're both just trying to stay in the good graces of their boss, Mr. Mushnick. And the story is basically about how far is Seymour willing to go to make the shop successful and to get him and Audrey out of Skid Row.
Yeah, that's a good explanation.
So first musical for Apple City Players, what have been some of the challenges that you've, and I know there's been a lot, but what have some of the challenges been for doing something different than just a straight play like we normally do here?
I think, if you don't mind, I think the first thing we needed to do was we had to get a good music director in place, somebody that knows about tones and vocal ranges and harmonies and things like that, breathing techniques. I think that was the first challenge for
Because that's
the
not
cast.
something that we
Right.
specialize in per se.
Right, right. So we tapped our Seymour, Joel Stewart, to be our musical director, and she has put together a great team of musicians and orchestrator and a band that knows more about that kind of stuff than what we do. So that's been a challenge. Another specific challenge that I was thinking of was our trio. We have a trio of girls that sing. And so when we were casting that, we had to specifically think, okay, these three girls are good for the part acting wise, but are their vocal ranges compatible? Can they hit those harmonies that we need? And so that is something that our music director and the band needed to do. So that was one of the challenges that I thought we had.
Yeah. I think in my opinion, our biggest challenge has been we have a group of such talented people. Everybody is so good at what they do. And so we always set the bar high for ourselves. And so what might start out as just playing tracks or whatever, and then we're like,
oh, we're going to get to that.
so yeah, we'll get to that question then. So like we always just kind of like, we start doing it and then we're like, we can do this better. And then we add to it and we add to it and we add to it. And then it gets a little nerve-wracking. Like, can we do this? Can we pull this off? Is it going to work? But it does. And they've
so risen to every challenge we've given them.
Yeah, it's just so good.
So normally when ACP does a show, it rehearses for about 2 months. Little Shop, by the time we have the performances here, we're going to hit about an 8-month mark of rehearsals.
Right.
So how do you feel? Has that been beneficial? Do you feel like that was the way to go?
I completely think that was the way to go. I can't see that we would have done that any other way. Looking back at it, it gave us time to break everything up into stages. Like, first you come in, you know what the story is, then you work on your characters, then you like spend weeks working on the songs and harmonizing and breathing exercises that we talked about before. Then we turn it over to Allison and she teaches them dancing, and then we go to the stage and we learn, where do we stand, where do we enter, exit. So all the different pieces, we were able to spread that out over that time instead of crunching everything together so that it looked sloppy. I think this way it looks neat, it looks really rehearsed. It is rehearsed. And I think especially when you're talking about the different amounts of people we have and the different levels of experience they have, particularly with dance, like we had to focus some extra time on some people. Like, this is out of my comfort zone, so Allison spent a lot of time tweaking things like that for them too, and so that time was very helpful.
Yeah, I wouldn't change the time frame. I think this has been great. I also would kind of go hand in hand with it being one of our challenges, though, because we've never rehearsed something this long.
Right.
But with that is we've never done a musical before. So we, along with the cast and the band and the crew, we're all learning it together at the same time. So we don't have a book to go by. We don't have a playbook. We don't have directions. We're just kind of figuring out what works so that when we do our next musical, we know what works, we know what doesn't work. So I think part of the challenges we had was figuring out the right way to do things, or the timeline to do things, or you know. So,
and we told everybody that going into the process too, at auditions, you know, can you commit to this long of a period? And everybody, has been really gracious about that and given us that. I mean, that takes a lot of time out of somebody's life.
Yeah.
And so we are really grateful for people to giving us that time to let us do that.
Okay. So, you know, you said before we've got about 18 shows under our belt. I think this is show number 18. You're going to see a lot of familiar faces in this cast that we've seen in other Apple City Players productions, but we have a lot of newcomers to the Apple City Players stage.
Yeah. Yes.
So tell us a little bit about what that process has been like, about mixing some of these new people in with the old, you know, kind of how that mixture has worked.
Right.
I love our new people.
I
love
do.
all the
Yes.
new people. They're so fun. I saw a lot more of it, like from the choreography standpoint, and I think the most fun part for me has been watching them kind of like blossom, I guess. Because they start out real timid at first because they don't really know anybody and they don't really know where they fit in at first, and then they just become a part of the family, and then their confidence gets better and better and better, like as the show goes on, and then they just mesh, they just become family. And so now I can't imagine a show without our new people. We've got some good ones.
I think having the new people come in, it was actually good for the veterans. So you could look at it like the veterans are here and, you know, we give you advice and encouragement and everything, but I think it was just the opposite. The new people sparked that energy back to the vets again, and even doing the same songs over and over and over and over again. And again, with that 6 months, it didn't get any less exciting, I don't think, because the vets are excited for the new people and the new people are excited just to be involved, and I think that all came together really well.
a lot of fun. I don't know. It's fun to watch the newbies. The vets, you always have like confidence in them because you know they can do it. You know what they're gonna bring. You know what they're capable of. But then just watching the new ones grow and just be just as good as people who have been in it for a while. It's just fun to watch.
Yeah.
So Allison, you're assistant directing, your first time.
Yes.
Kim has directed The Mousetrap before, so she's got some directorial experience here. But for you, you also took on this role of choreography. Plus, you know, you're going to be doing some stage lighting. You're doing a lot of things. You're wearing a lot of hats with this.
Yeah.
What were some of the fun parts and some of the challenging parts about the choreography? I know you've covered that a little bit.
Yeah.
But
it's been a lot of fun. I've never assistant directed anything, never directed anything, so this is kind of my first go at it. I think if you could say one of the challenging parts would just be that she is also my mom, so it's like you want to share ideas, but then I never want to be like, am I overstepping as the assistant director? Am I overstepping as the daughter? I don't know. So like maybe that was the biggest challenge. I don't know, like never wanting to overstep or whatever, but just kind of finding my place of when I speak up, when I don't. But we found a groove with it, and I feel more confident now, like helping direct things and come up with ideas and speak out loud instead of thinking about it and then telling her after. So that's been fun. And then the choreography part of it is always fun. I love dance. I love being a part of that, and it's fun to watch them do the dances that I made up. It's just fun to watch that. I think my favorite part choreography wise though was like collaborating with other people in the cast that had ideas, and because I can sit at home all day long and think of things, but you kind of hit a blank spot where, what do I do with this? I don't really know what to do. And then you can collaborate with people in the show that might have ideas and build a dance together. And so that's been my favorite part choreography wise, is working, like collaborating on those. And I've always wanted to do lights, so I'm learning that now. So hopefully the lights look good.
So originally, when this play came around, we decided we were going to sing to the pre-recorded tracks. Somewhere early on in the process, we made a pivot to incorporate a live band, which brings a whole new set of challenges and rewards. But tell us a little bit about that process and some of the musicians that are working with us and how that enhances the show.
Okay. Well, our band members, and help me make sure I get everybody's name correctly. So we have on synth, we have Clark Walker. On piano, somebody very well known around the area, Mary Elizabeth Billman. On drums, we have our very own Apple City Players chairman, Bethany Sarah Penix. And on guitar, we have Jordan Lombardo, also well known around the area. And we have Alex Lindemood playing bass, and he's conducting everybody and keeping us all in line.
Yeah.
I think the pivot from going from tracks to live music, it's like, imagine like if you were in your car and you're listening to your CDs and you're singing along and it's great, but then when you go to a concert, you have a whole other vibe to it, and that's what this band is bringing to us because they're so good together. You'd think they've been playing together for years, almost a year though actually, and they have stuck with us from the beginning. They've put in the hours with us too, and they've committed to this, and they're able to cue the people, know when to come on, when to come off. If somebody gets lost, they know enough to stretch it out. You can't do that with a track. So you can't stop in the middle of the track and say, we'll start over. The band covers for that.
Yeah.
So I think that's been a really good advantage.
Yeah, I was gonna say that too. Like maybe something's happening backstage and they're stuck and they can't get through and they need to come out a little bit later. Like they kind of vamp a little bit until
someone's
they see
mustache
you.
falls off or their wig.
Yeah,
or
the mustache falls off.
We've had that.
Because I've noticed that with, and I think that's fun to watch Alex because he'll be playing the bass, but then he's also like conducting, and he's like turning it, go.
Right.
It's fun to watch him, but yeah.
I think, me personally, I think something that's interesting is that, Clark, in addition to playing synth, has been so instrumental in everybody learning these songs, working with them on vocal techniques, and has been a big help. And then Alex is actually in our theater right now hanging stage lights because he's just been
And
right in.
Yes.
And it's really fun. You know, we talked about the new people and the dynamic
Right.
that they bring. All these new people have jumped right in and have become a big part
Yes.
of
Yeah.
everything we do to get a production going, because there's a lot of pieces.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
So
I love that. I love that about the new people. Like we're saying, they're so excited to be here, and they just want
Right.
to help however they can. And I love that, and they're so helpful.
They are.
It's great.
Yeah.
yeah. So let's talk about the principal cast members of the show. It's a very large cast.
Very large cast.
But your two leading roles, Seymour and Audrey, are played by Jules and Kelsey Stewart, married in real life. How does that chemistry cross over into their characters on stage?
You can't beat it.
You can't beat it. You can't buy
can't
it.
act
You can't
it, you
teach
can't-
it. So the naturalness of that. First of all, you have the advantage that they can practice all the time at home, on top of being in here for 6 months with us. But no, they have just subtle cues amongst themselves that one of them can like look at the other and just be that encouragement that they need, or
It's like a calming.
calming
Like I
effect
got you,
and-
you got me. Like they're just locked in.
Right,
and
and
you can't.
and they
you
it
can't
each
teach that.
amps the other one up too, because they're performing for each other as well as performing for us too. And
Yeah.
I'm like I said, you can't buy that and you can't teach it.
And they're so talented as it is, but you can't teach it. I think from a choreography standpoint, blocking standpoint, there's been so many times where Kelsey specifically has been like, what do you want me to do here? Like, what can I do? And I just stare at her. I'm like, what you're doing is perfect.
It's great. It's great.
I don't really know what to tell you to do because it looks good. It just looked like, even when they're just the way they look at each other, you can't,
Right.
the chemistry's there.
I would venture to say when the two of them sing Suddenly Seymour in this show, it will bring the house down.
Yes.
It will. It will. And again, no matter how many times you've seen it or heard it,
Yeah.
you get goosebumps.
Every time.
You well up with tears. I do. I'm like, oh my
I-
gosh, you're making me believe in love.
From my vantage point down in the pit, I tear up during that song because it's gorgeous. And
Yeah.
I think it's that connection that the two of them
For
have.
sure.
All right, so then we have Matt McKee playing Mr. Mushnick. Now, a lot of people don't know Matt McKee is a founding member of Apple City Players way
Right.
back in 2017. This is his first time back on stage with us since around 2019. He's taken a bit of a break from the stage. Tell us a little bit about his take on Mr. Mushnick.
I love Matt.
First of all, Matt is funny. Matt is a very busy man, and he's a family man. So when he came in, we didn't assign him the role that he auditioned for, actually. But he had made a comment during the interview part of casting that in this break that you're talking about, his kids have been involved in the Markay with children's theater. And he thought that they were really going to get a kick out of seeing him back on stage again. So we wanted to make sure that he got something really fun that they would enjoy. So enter a fun dance that Ali choreographed between him and Seymour that I know his kids are going to love. But as far as his character, I think for those of us of a certain age, if you think back to Mr. Hooper of Sesame Street days, that's kind of the take that we have of Mr. Mushnick. And he's just, the character itself, he's just fed up with everything on Skid Row. He's fed up with the people that hang out, the bums on the street, the kids that just hang around the shop and don't buy anything. So he's brought a lot of fun to that, I think.
I think so too.
All right, and then we have Matt Wilson in a very scene-stealing role as Orrin Scrivello, DDS.
DDS.
Got to make sure you get the DDS in there.
DDS.
Don't want to give too much away about his character because it's a fun little
Right.
part of the show. But my question about Matt, me personally, I get no more joy out of anybody that I work with on stage than Matt Wilson.
Yes.
What is that sense of humor that he brings and that levity he brings to the room when he's around? What does that mean to a show like this and to a process like this?
I think just the fact that we're both ready to laugh now, just even thinking about him being on stage. I think when you're dealing with any kind of story and you enter Matt Wilson onto the stage, he's going to make you happy that you're there.
Yeah.
No matter if you're in the audience
He's gonna steal
or
the
on
show.
the stage. He makes it fun.
Mm-hmm.
And he brings that to everybody else. And when he's on it, and he's always on it, when he's on it, then everybody else is on it.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
I don't care how many times I have seen his scenes, I would watch it on repeat.
Mm-hmm. Matt Wilson is one of my favorite people to watch on the stage, but also one of my favorite people just in life. I think he's great on or off the stage.
Right.
He's somebody that you can talk to. He's somebody that is like so level-headed and funny and just accepting. I just love him. I just think he's
kind.
great.
He's got a kind heart.
Yeah.
But if you need adjusted, he'll tell you.
Yes, absolutely. Yes, he's one of
He
those
is
people
great.
that
He is
I
great.
love that friendship where it's
Right.
we can have conversations and
Right.
but just on the stage too. When he comes in, he just steals the show. He's so funny. You're gonna love him. He cracks me up in this play just like he does every play.
Right.
He brings it.
Well, then we talked earlier about the trio. Now, the trio they're all newcomers to ACP.
Right.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And they're, I think, an essential part of the story. And why don't you tell us tell us who each of them are and a little bit about them and how they drive the story forward.
You want to take
Yeah.
that?
So our trio, I've had a lot of fun with the trio from a choreography standpoint. They get most of the choreography. We have Brooklyn Burns, who plays Crystal, and she's phenomenal. She's so good. Goosebumps every time she sings. She brings the character, her facial expressions, her dancing. She gives it 100% every time she's here. I love watching her. Then we have Madison Bird, who plays Chiffon. She's been a friend of mine for a while. I adore her. I think she's the best person. I knew she would come in and fit right in with everybody. She's goofy and fun, and she actually has not been in anything since high school. So this is her debut and ended up getting a trio part. So I knew this is big and exciting for her. She's grown so much this past 8 months, I guess.
Sure.
Then we have Jade Goodman, who plays Ronette. She's just a powerhouse of a voice.
Yes.
She
Rattle the walls.
Yes.
Rattle the walls. One of our, as we've told her before, one of our non-negotiables when she came in. Like, she's in the show from audition. We were like, that voice, we're keeping that. We are
Yes.
keeping her. And with the character-wise, she's the tough one of the group. Crystal is she's kind of the leader, and she's really curious. And then Madison is just, along for the ride, and I think she brings that comic relief between the two of them also.
I feel like Chiffon's character kind of like blends in with whoever she's with,
Yeah.
kind of a thing.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
she's fun to watch too. And then we have the ensemble too.
The ensemble.
Yeah,
That's
so-
something.
So we've got, you want to talk about them a little bit, who they are?
Sure,
And,
for sure. Also, one of the
Challenge.
two.
I was gonna say this goes back to one of our challenges too. There was so much talent.
Right.
You
so
wanted.
we included extra people.
Yeah.
We have A. Chappelle, and she actually makes the drive here from out of state 3 times a week to practice. And she's always like prepared, like you were talking earlier, right down to, even if she's not saying anything, her face and her whole entire movement is saying everything. We also have Melissa Sussman, who has been in a few of our plays before. You last saw her as Shelby in Still Magnolias. She's phenomenal. She plays multiple characters, actually. We have Catherine Glass, who's going to be also multiple characters in the show.
Emma Walker.
Emma Walker, yes, and she's one of our newbies also. And when you're talking about veterans and new people, or the young and the old, that's the perfect example. We have, somebody that's 14 up to somebody who's maybe a little more than 14, blended in together.
And Christy Montgomery.
And Christy Montgomery, and she is also playing one of the shop customers, and she's in ensemble as well. And then we also have our puppeteers, but I don't know if
yeah,
you want to.
and so, then last I was going to say, then there's Audrey too. Some bozo does the voice of that down in the pit. But it's not just the voice, right? It takes a lot of people to make these puppets all become one character.
Oh, for sure.
So tell us a little bit about the blending of the voice and the puppeteering and what
Okay.
that brings to the show.
Talking again about collaboration. You gotta
Right.
make 3 people have to make one person or one
Yeah.
plant, I guess.
Mhm.
It's getting the timing down with what Audrey too is saying and singing, getting the motions right with that. We have Ty, who
Ty Wells.
he's
Mhm.
been in a few things with
Been a few
us.
things.
He plays one of our puppets. Does a great job. We love Ty. Ty's always a favorite when he comes back. We
Super
love seeing him
animated,
here.
lots
Yeah.
of energy.
And then we have Lid Payne also helping with puppets. So
Puppets.
I'm excited for everybody
And then we
to see the
have
puppets.
Doug Sharp, who is the voice of Audrey too.
Yes.
Oh, gee.
Oh, gee. So, like you said, a lot of that's been coordination. You'll see the plant actually as it's growing through different stages, and they go from just a little potted plant to a hand-operated puppet to an actual physical wearing of a puppet to a
Well, I guess Jules is a puppeteer too at one
Right,
point
so,
too.
yeah,
So
so
Seymour
Jules-
is
yeah.
a puppeteer too.
yeah.
So yeah.
All right, well, tell us show dates, how they can get tickets, so we can make sure we get this place. And I will say, I've seen tickets are selling fast.
They are,
so
yes.
if you're coming to this show, you got to get these
It
tickets.
is. It's one of our fastest, other than Misery. I think this is one of our fastest pre-sale seats that we have done. So pre-sale prices, actually, that's another advantage. $18 in advance. They will be $20 day of show weekend. You can get them at markaytickets.org. You can come in here to the Markay, to the box office between noon and 5, Tuesdays through Saturdays. We do want to take a minute and thank our sponsors, which you have our
We
sponsor
have
information.
McKee Paving, D&W Homes, and Mark Porter Ford. We really appreciate them.
And our show dates are August 1st, which is Friday at 7 p.m., August 2nd, Saturday at 7 p.m., and Sunday, August 3rd at 3 p.m. 2 p.m. 2 p.m. 2 p.m.
2 p.m.
Okay, and before we go, everybody wants to know what's the sneak peek, what's happening in the future in ACP, what do we have to look forward to next season?
So exciting.
This is our season finale.
This is the season finale, yes.
We had Clue, we had Steel Magnolias, we're gonna finish up our season with our first musical, but no rest for the wicked, because come October, we've got our very next show for the kickoff of our 9th season as a group.
Right, right.
So what do we have to look forward to?
The first show.
First thing though, watch for auditions. So if you're interested in ACP, watch for
Yes.
auditions on our Facebook pages, TikTok pages as well. Apple City Players Jackson. But
Yep.
I'll let you tell the next show coming up.
The first show will be Night Mother, and our second show is Odd Couple.
Odd Couple, which is Neil Simon classic.
And it's not just the Odd Couple, we're doing,
Yeah.
2 versions.
2 versions.
The
of
all
Odd
male
Couple.
version and then the female version. And that'll be split out over 4 shows.
Yep. So we have that, and then our third show will be our next musical, which is The Heathers.
yeah.
And everyone is familiar with Heathers. I think I get asked about that more than anything else. When are you doing Heathers? When are auditions for Heathers? How can I be involved
Coming
in Heathers?
soon,
So
people.
coming soon. So watch that information.
Yes.
All right, anything else you guys want to say before we wrap it up here?
I just want to thank everybody that has been involved in this show from the beginning. I want to thank Southern Hills Arts Council and the Markay for letting us use this space as much as they let us use it. We're not actually a part of the Markay, but we feel like they welcome us into their family to do that. And I want to thank everybody for this last 6 months that has hung in there with us through this grueling schedule. And
It
it's all
hasn't always
volunteer.
been easy.
No, it has not always been
But
easy.
we
you're right.
always come together.
Always come together. And if you are ever interested in doing something like this, think about what other groups can you get involved in where you can have from a 14-year-old up to a mature person and every age in between.
Nicely put.
And every age in between, and you're doing something that's wholesome and fun, and I would encourage everybody to just come and try out, or come and see what we're about. Come join us.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we have a lot of fun. We're creating art. It's, there's hard days. You're grueling away at this 3 days a week, putting a lot of hours into it. It takes up a lot of time, but when you're doing what you love and you're surrounded by people that you love to be with, and
Right.
it's worth it.
I think
It's
so.
really worth it. You should come be a part of it.
All right, guys, well, let's wrap it up and go
Okay.
get some rehearsing done.
Yes.
Come see our
Come see our
show.
show.
All right.
Thanks.
Thank you.
From breaking news to heartwarming stories, the Telegram is your ticket to the latest buzz in town.
Read your daily dose of local headlines, sports, and entertainment and more, in hand and on paper.
Get a print and digital subscription for only $7.95 per month. Delivered fresh every Wednesday and Saturday.
Visit thetelegramnews.com or call 740-286-3023 today.
Don't just read the news, be a part of it.
Saturday, August 16th is Southern Rock Woodstock in the Gallipolis Fairgrounds. This event will feature 3 decades of original artists and legends, such as Leonard Skinner, 38 Special, and Molly Hatchet. In light of this event, Total Media will be giving away 4 VIP tickets. For a chance to win these exclusive passes, comment your favorite Southern Rock song, and our staff will vote on which one is the best. Good luck, and may the best man rock out.
Wow, that looks like it is going to be an amazing production, and I am, for one, looking forward to seeing it, and so happy that a show like Little Shop of Horrors is coming to little old Jackson, Ohio. And our very own Matt McKee is going to be in it. It's a lot to look forward to. So if you have not already bought your tickets, make sure that you get them, because it is my understanding that they are pretty close to selling out, and there are 3 shows. There's one on the 1st, the 2nd, and the 3rd, 31st, 1st and 2nd, Adrian? Adrian's checking for me. It's Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. I'm just not sure what the actual days are. But it's Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. There's an evening performance on Friday and Saturday and a matinee on Sunday, and it looks like it's going to be an amazing show. So I am here with our very own Jade.
Hello.
And she hasn't been with us for a hot minute, but she has been on working street team. She's been out in the community doing stuff. And last night we were at the Chillicothe Paints game. It was Total Media Night, which was pretty exciting. It was Total Media staff, Stockmeister construction staff, and also Stockroom Parks Edge. So it was all of us together. We had a big picnic dinner, and it was pretty exciting because our very own fearless leader, Cora Willett, threw out the first pitch. And then her other half, Josh, who you might know from Matt and the Morning Crew, Big Papa, played the national anthem last night on his trumpet. Yeah,
it was
just
amazing.
Showed up, grabbed his trumpet, and played.
I was right there in front of him too. I was just like, wow. It was really loud too.
He was telling Matt this morning. Well, Cora was out in the parking lot yesterday before the game, testing out her throwing skills because she wasn't too sure about it. It had been like at least 10 years since she'd thrown a baseball, and she wasn't too sure that she could get that far. And so she was out in the parking lot yesterday. But Josh said that he did not practice at all. He just showed up, and he's like, "Oh, I probably should like play a couple of notes before I get up there," and he just he knocked it out of the park.
Crushed it, absolutely crushed it.
No pun intended. Yeah, but he knocked it out of the park, and the Paints ended up winning the game. So it was a win-win-win. Yeah, and Jade's rocking her Paint shirt today.
I won it yesterday at the raffle, the social media raffle.
Awesome!
I was so excited.
Awesome. Well, Jade was down on the field with Cora and Josh, and so we have some videos to show you from last night's Paints game.
We have the president of Total Media, Cora Willett. And next, representing some Ross County royalty, we have Ross County Fair King Isaac Corcoran. Please rise. Gentlemen, remove your caps as we honor America, and help me welcome to the microphone to play our national anthem this evening from Total Media Group, Josh Willett. Judge floor, ladies and gentlemen.
That was really good.
How crazy is that? It was pretty amazing, and you heard like everybody was like clapping and cheering and stuff.
It was so fun to be there. The atmosphere was so fun. It was very hot though, so.
Oh my gosh, it was
so hot.
it was really, really hot. But it was Dairy Queen sweet treat night last night too.
I got like 3 different dilly bars.
Oh,
like,
I got the same dilly bar,
It was so good.
but they gave us like extra cards when we came in, and so I stationed myself near the concession stand that had the dilly bars, and I just kept going back and getting my dilly bars.
Yeah, I was just constantly.
Yeah, that kind of made up for the heat,
But it was still very, very, very
It was
hot.
a very hot one last night. It was a very, very hot one last night. That was my first Paints game.
Really?
Yeah, that was my first
also
Paints
my
game.
first one. I don't know. I'm acting surprised, but I was so excited. I got there and then I saw Lori, and Lori was just like, "Can you record Josh and Cora?" And I was like, "You know what? Yeah." Like I was just normally going there with my family, and then I remembered. I was just like, "Oh yeah, Total Media is gonna be here," and I'm just like, "You know what? Yeah." And it was so much fun. I genuinely loved it.
Well, it was fun because it was all of us from all of the different areas. So, like Josh, you might know him from our theaters. He runs Tri-City Theater, Danbury up in Chillicothe, and Silver Screen 7 in Gallipolis. And like I said, the construction side was there. We had representatives from some of the different radio stations, including Lori was there from Hank in Chillicothe. She actually organized the whole thing. And for those that don't know, we actually broadcast all of the Paints games on Hank 100.9. So if you want to follow the Paints wherever they're at, whether they're playing at the VA field or out on the road, you can listen to them on 100.9. And if you're out of the area, you can pick up Hank WXIZ on the Total Media Radio app. So, or you can listen via streaming off of yourtotalmedia.com. So yeah, you can listen to the Paints wherever you're at. You don't have to actually be in Chillicothe. So, and they look like they had like diehard fans.
Yeah,
there
are a lot of diehard fans.
Yeah, yeah. It looked like a lot of family members, and so it was a lot of fun to watch.
It was.
It's the first baseball game I've been at since I actually got here to Ohio. So so yeah, it was a fun night. Hot, but a fun night.
Yeah, I agree. 100%.
And it was hot last night, but I heard on the radio this morning the guys said that it's actually supposed to break in the next couple of days, and it's supposed to go down by probably about 10 degrees by this weekend. It's supposed to be like in the low 80s this weekend. So
I am so excited. I'm way more of a fall person, so I'm excited for the cold to run back in.
yeah, nothing like talking about the weather with our weather girl. We need to get her back.
I know,
so
I do.
So she's doing our weather again. So that would be fun. So.
Yes, 100%. I will definitely be coming back on your screen soon.
So our good friend Pete Wilson just walked in the room, and so we're going to switch it out. We have a word from our sponsors, and we'll get Pete in to talk about all the news from Jackson and Benton counties.
Did you know Jackson is home to a locally owned and operated full-service print shop? Zip Printing covers all your print, signage, and design needs. From business cards, booklets, and posters to yard signs, banners, screen-printed t-shirts, oversized signage, and more. We can help you or your business advertise and look good doing it. Zip Printing also offers logo design. Allow us to assist you in building or elevating your brand today. Zip Printing is located in the Stockmeister Plaza at 708 East Main Street in Jackson, Ohio. So stop in or give us a call at 740-286-3023.
And we're back with our good friend Pete Wilson with all of the news from our area. Hey, Pete.
Hello there, Cheryl. How are you today?
I spilled my tea all over myself right before the show went on.
Okay,
so
well, I've done that. I like tea, and I've done that plenty of times. And, I find out it doesn't stain too bad if you get it right on it.
It doesn't, and luckily it wasn't hot tea. It was iced tea, so I wasn't screaming, so it was good.
Okay, all right. Well, we're going to start. We're going to start off, Cheryl, with a missing person story. This comes from the Jackson County Sheriff's Office, and we just did check on this before I came on the air. This lady is still missing. Adrian will put her picture up because that's important here since we have the medium of television. Laura Mickey Elliott. There she is right there. She has been missing for several weeks now. She is a Jackson County resident, and there is some concern beyond just missing that something may have happened not natural to her because of some of the rumors that have floated on Facebook about a man that she had been with and may have meant her harm. So the sheriff's office would be looking into this anyway, but there's that element of it that makes it a little bit more scary. But Mickey Elliott is 48 years old. She's described, as you can see there, a white female. She's a big lady, 6 feet tall, 197 pounds, and she has not been seen or heard from since about Friday, July the 11th.
Oh, wow.
So, we're talking about more than 2 weeks there. She had also, another concern is that she had been in rehab in Portsmouth over the past 9 months and had been in recovery, but dealing with some mental health issues, as described by her mother at least. And so that is, another level of concern there as well. She was last seen at a residence on Roberts Road in Liberty Township. The two persons that she had been staying with, this was after her mother had not seen her. Those two persons have been interviewed, and they both say that she left there, and they don't know where she is either. Now, the gentleman who they interviewed is in jail right now and was interviewed, but he is in jail on unrelated charges. So they have interviewed him, and so the sheriff's office is wanting anybody who may have any information, seen this person, heard anything about this person, to certainly call the sheriff's office at 286-6464. The picture there that Adrian just put up, we do have we had it in the Telegram newspaper today. Also, of course, automatically on the website and on our Facebook too, if you want to check that out. Also on the sheriff's office Facebook as well.
Well, we hope that she's found, hopefully safe somewhere out there.
Right, and they've done the regular checks around the hospitals and facilities that all the law enforcement agencies, not just the sheriff's office, are looking for. But the eyes and ears of the public multiply that possible detection by many, many times. So that's why we're passing the information on to you. Also on the law enforcement front, a different type of story. This about a drug offense story out of the sheriff's office. A Middletown man, we're talking about Harold W. Massey Jr. He's 68 years old. That is Harold there. He has been charged with drug-related charges after a controlled drug buy set up by the sheriff's office with a what they call a confidential informant, which is a common tool of law enforcement to try to make drug-related arrests when they suspect that somebody is selling drugs, maybe to multiple persons. But in this case, Mr. Massey allegedly made a drug buy of methamphetamine to a confidential informant who was working in cooperation with the sheriff's office. This occurred just last Friday in the Jackson area at a residence. And as a result, Mr. Massey did admit after he was supposedly caught red-handed that he was indeed trying to sell the meth, and even admitted that he had sold some meth to a person out on Franklin Valley Road in another area of the county. As a result, Mr. Massey has been charged. He has been charged with, let's see what those charges are. He has been charged with trafficking in drugs, and that is a second-degree felony, meaning that he just didn't have the drugs, that he was trying to sell the drugs. And also, he has already appeared in court. His bond was set at $750,000, 10% cash or a surety. And he was very open when interviewed by law enforcement about why he did it, admitted that he did it. He says his only income is Social Security, and he can't even pay his rent without additional income, and this is what he does to get it. So there you go. All right, another report, Cheryl. This is something that folks in Vinton County are very aware of. However, folks in Jackson County probably too, if they've kept up with the news. This happened several years ago, but a former Vinton Township fiscal officer, when he was the fiscal officer in that township, he had kind of like a menagerie of exotic animals. He didn't advertise it a whole lot, but a lot of people knew about it, and they would go there and pay him to see the animals, chimpanzees, and all like that. Right. Well, he was also the Vinton Township fiscal officer, and a state-level investigation determined, this was several years ago, I'm going to give you the update in just a minute, a state-level investigation through the auditor's office, the treasurer's office, law enforcement, determined that he was using township money to run his animal menagerie, his kind of zoo where people pay to come and see him.
Yeah.
But anyway, he ended up being convicted of that a couple years ago. Didn't get a real long prison sentence, but was supposed to pay a very high amount in restitution. Well, now on the heels of that, a little bit later, comes a finding for recovery that was reported by the state auditor's office. $1,585.65, which is much less than what he was accused of stealing. But they said that this was something that goes back to something that came out in an audit report where he did not report certain financial information the way he should, and as a result, he's going to have to pay an additional now $1,585.65. By the way, that restitution amount was $339,717.86.
Okay.
This is a small township. So I know that money doesn't go as far as it used to, but $339,000 is a lot of money for a tiny rural township.
It's a lot of money wherever you're at.
That is what he said was stolen. He also had improper debit and credit card transactions, payroll disbursements, Internal Revenue Service penalties, and was accused of not reporting state and federal taxes and retirement withholdings. All that put Mr. Viestra, Cy Viestra is the man's name, and in 2017, this is kind of an oddity too, he legally changed his name to just Cy. He never used his last name anymore, which is Viestra. You know, I'm using it, but he was legally known as Cy. I remember I met him at an event here in Jackson. This is before he got in trouble. And he had an owl with him, and I thought that would make a great picture. I took it. He was there. Didn't really want to be in the picture, but he had to hold the owl for me. And I asked what his name was, and he said, Cy, C-Y. And I said, well, what's your last name? He says, I don't use my last name. So that's how it appeared in the paper. So that's how I ran across Mr. Viestra. All right, another thing that happened, one wrap-up thing from the Vinton County Fair, because this is such a neat thing. They did this in Jackson County, and they did this in Vinton County. And Adrian, this is your cue for the picture on the Day in the Ring event. There it is. Thank you very much. It was an event held during the fair where the fair officials, as well as the 4-H kids, made themselves available to the developmentally disabled folks to come from Vinton Industries, at least Vinton Industries, maybe more than one place, but that's the DD workshop in Vinton County, to come and experience the fair and actually not only see the animals, but learn how to show the animals. And this was a great experience for them. They love it. As you can see, Don Malone is in the middle there, just all smiles with that calf. So that was a great event in Vinton County. In Jackson County, it received a lot of positive attention too. They haven't been doing it very long in either county. I think in Jackson County, 4 years. In Vinton County, I don't think quite as long, but it's turned into be a regular event at the fair and just a win all the way around for everybody involved. All right, we want to tell you about some new teachers that have been hired in a couple of the school districts. Because we got the school year coming up sooner than you think.
I know.
When do they start school in California?
We used to start on Admissions Day. When I went to school, we started on Admissions Day, which is the day California was admitted to the Union, which was always after Labor Day.
Okay.
And on the, gosh, that dates me. I think it's the 9th. I want to say it's September 9th.
September 9th.
But because of trying to get the kids out of school earlier at the end of the year, they ended up pushing it back into August. So now the kids start the end of August and are out before Memorial Day.
Okay.
at the end of the school year. But I know my granddaughter here, she's up in the Columbus area, and she starts, I think it's August 20th.
Okay.
Somewhere in there. So,
Well,
yeah.
back in the dinosaur days when I went to school, it was always the day after Labor Day that you started. And part of the reason of that, other than that was, maybe a reasonable time to start, you always knew when it was going to be, was because the buildings weren't air conditioned. So
Yes.
it was too doggone hot. Well, that isn't a problem anymore. So now most of our school districts start the third week of August, somewhere in there, but we'll be letting you know all about that. But back to what I was going to talk about, new teachers. The last meeting of the Vinton County Local School Board, some new teachers were hired, and we'll show you who they are. Seated there across the front, those are the members of the Vinton County Local Board of Education. Most folks, certainly in Vinton County, know those, but let's introduce the people in the back row, because those are the new teachers. They are, from the left, Ben Liggett, Lauren Gibson, Ashley Monk, and Sarah Clancy. Kind of a tradition of our local school boards. They usually invite the new teachers and other new employees to a board meeting. They get to meet the board members personally, and then, of course, we're always there to cover the meetings, and that way we get their pictures in the paper. So welcome to all four of those, and I believe there's still some positions to fill in Vinton County. Okay, we'll go all the way on the other end of 93, State Route 93 in our coverage area, to Oak Hill. And we have some new teachers that were hired there at their last meeting in July. There on the right, that is Superintendent of Schools Jason Mantell. He's not a new teacher. He is a continuing superintendent. But the two new teachers that were hired at this last meeting was actually Flint Barger is a middle high school intervention teacher. And then the lady in the middle, Allison Bryan, is not a teacher. She is the new school nurse. So those are the two newest employees in the Oak Hill School District. I know Flint did not graduate from Oak Hill High School all that long ago, so he's come back home to teach. So congratulations to both of them as well. All right, some other things going on that we want to tell you about, Cheryl. This is coming up tomorrow. Yep, tomorrow is the 31st, isn't it? The city of Wellston tried this, I think, last year for the first time, and they're going to do it again this year. They're going to have a community yard sale. This is something that the city sets up. They have a kind of a public place for people to come and be a yard sale vendor. And of course, the event's open to the public. It's kind of like a flea market, you could almost call it, an outdoor flea market. There is no need to register or apply for a peddler's permit, which you have to do for some outdoor sales. In this case, it's all regulated by the city and supervised. Spaces will be on a first come, first served basis. And this yard sale event, the first one, is going to be starting Thursday, the 31st, and will run through Sunday, August the 3rd. A lot of the yard sales, everybody thinks about the first of the month being the prime time. Where will this take place? The old Frick Gallagher lot.
Okay.
It's the Frick Gallagher plant building has not been there for a long time, but the name remains. That's where it was, and that's how people identify it. It is an empty lot, vacant lot on 2nd Street in the downtown area, just across from the Piggly Wiggly store. But anyway, the yard sale will be from the 31st through August the 3rd, and once again, you can just show up. But when they run out of spots, they run out of spots. Dates are subject to cancellation and change. There are no makeup dates, so if there is a weather issue and the yard sale can't operate a day, they're not going to have they're not going to do it the next week.
Well, it looks like they're going to have good weather for it.
Okay, and notice, I think starting tomorrow, it's not going to be quite as hot.
That's what the guys were saying on the radio this morning. It's supposed to be like in the low 80s, so it should be actually really nice.
Right, you know that it's been hot when you say, yay, it's only going to be 85.
It's only going to be 80.
85, yeah. All right, we want to pass along also some dates that we just got from the Jacksonville City Schools. Certainly affects a lot of people. We talked about the opening of school. That means open houses are going to take place. That is a lot. It's for anybody, but it's principally for people in the district where the kids are changing buildings. They're going from elementary to middle school, or middle school to high school, and also especially for new people coming into the district that's enrolled in the schools for the first time. But let me throw out those dates, and they are already online and on Facebook, and we're going to announce them on the radio, and they will be they are in the paper. I remember putting them in yesterday. We'll put them in again. But Northview, Southview, and Westview elementary schools, those are our 3 elementary schools in Jackson. Wednesday, August the 6th, 5:30 to 6:30 for the preschool and kindergarten level students. And then grades 1 through 5 will be the next evening, Thursday, August 7th, from 5:30 to 6:30. So that is next week. Jackson Middle School, 6th grade and new students, that's Thursday, August 7th, 6:30 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. And then the 7th and 8th grade students at the middle school, that's 7:30 p.m. to 8:15 p.m. Up on the hill, Jackson High School, freshmen and new students are welcome to come to the open house next Monday. It's the first one, Monday, August 4th, 6 to 7 p.m.
It's just crazy that school's already starting. It seems like they just got out of school.
I know. I'm very, very aware of that. I always think this is just my routine. Once we get through the 4th of July, I know it's there because we might have a 1-week break before the county fairs. And then after the county fair, I mean, even in July, there's band practice and football practice and runners out working and all like that. And there's just a lot of activity. It's really not that much downtime in the summer for many of those involved in school. Speaking of school and education, the Jackson-Vinton Community Action has begun to enroll Head Start students for the 2025-26 school year. Now, this program serves students, our youngest students in both Jackson County or Vinton County. This is a free preschool program, does not cost. Participating children must be 3 years old on or before August the 1st. Households which receive SNAP benefits are automatically eligible. Head Start offers kindergarten readiness skills, parenting curriculum, and social events for families, for services to meet the needs of children, not just everyday children, but children with disabilities, health development screens, and mental health wellness for children and families as well. So if you want to enroll your child in Head Start or need information about whether you need to do that or should do that, call the Head Start enrollment number. That is 740-286-8441. 740-286-8441, and we do have this information posted. Also today, we mentioned this yesterday, we'll mention it again. The Emergency Management Agency in Vinton County and its director, Bill Fott, is inviting the public to attend a hazard mitigation public hearing. This is mainly for the emergency management officials and public service and law enforcement agencies, but the public can come and weigh in or hear about the plan. They're having a meeting at 10 a.m. today at the MacArthur Fire Station, and they will repeat the same meeting at 6 p.m. also at the fire station to give you an opportunity to go to either meeting. Also, we want to say this. I know that you had the big video today about the Little Shop of Horrors, but do not forget that tickets are on sale now. And in addition to being able to save $2 and being able to pick out your seat or seats, you may want to do this to make sure you get a seat.
Yes, because I hear they're pretty close to selling out the show.
Yeah, so they've broken records on the preschool past that start on the advanced tickets.
Yes.
So good luck to the Little Shop of Horrors, and when we come tomorrow or the next day, one or the other, we'll tell you all the details about the Pig Iron Day that's coming up Saturday in Jackson. That is another fun event, not too complicated. The big attraction is the wonderful low-cost food and all those classic cars that you can see.
It sounds exciting.
It is a very,
exciting.
very nice event. A lot of people work hard to make that happen.
So very good. So thank you, Pete.
You're very welcome.
For all of the news.
Well, and thank you for filling in for Jen.
Yeah, we gave her the morning off, and so she could enjoy her day. And
well, she's got to taste that craft beer. Someone's got to do it before they sell it, right?
Yeah, she's got the hard job, I guess.
All right.
Yeah. So join us tomorrow. We'll be back. I believe it's the Jackson County or the Jackson Homelessness Committee, and they've got some important information about how they're helping the citizens of Jackson in combating homelessness in the area. So.
Right. Very much a hidden problem. You don't necessarily see the evidence of homelessness like you do in some big cities necessarily, but it's out there.
Yeah.
It's out there, even here in Jackson County.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's a problem everywhere. So they're working hard to help people, and they're going to be in tomorrow. Jen will be back tomorrow to talk to them, and we'll see you then. Thanks for joining us. Bye.